Well, Kelly's Court is back in session. On the docket today, amnesia, one actor's alibi for attempted murder. Shelly Malil, most famous for his bit part alongside Steve Carell in The 40-Year-Old Virgin, accused of stabbing his girlfriend more than 20 times. Malil now on the stand in court, accepting responsibility for the savage assault, but insisting he has no memory of actually attacking his girlfriend, and claiming he was hit in the back of the head before grabbing the knife, and that he believed at the time he stabbed her, he was fighting for his own life. Listen.
I'm like on high alert, and out of nowhere, I get hit from the back. I know it sounds weird, but it felt like a piece of granite countertop, because it was cold and it was hard, and it hit me on the side of the head from the back, and I immediately fell down. And then there was something like, I don't know what it was, but someone was hitting me with something, and all I had was this knife, and I just went like bananas with the thing.
So, does he actually have a defense? Let's ask our panel. Former prosecutor Kelly Saindon and criminal defense attorney Joey Jackson. All right, panel, so this case is really disturbing, and we're going to play some more of the victim's testimony on the stand in a minute. But Kelly, I want to ask you, he claims that essentially it was self-defense, and you heard his explanation. Is there any chance that flies with this jury?
I don't think so. I don't think so at all. You have to be under attack. You have to be in fear for your safety. He said that he was on the ground and then started swinging, went bananas. He went into it was cold and I fell down. You wouldn't fight back with a knife because you wouldn't have a knife in your hand. He grabbed it before he was ever hit, even according to his own testimony. So I don't think so. Eyewitness testimony is different than what he's saying, and he repeatedly went after her. So it wasn't like he just tried to stop an aggressor. So I don't see it flying at all.
But Joey, he has an explanation for why he had the knife in the first place and for his confusion. What is it?
Well, first of all, Megan, you have to understand that there's a bit of adrenaline that takes over, and certainly I think he has a legitimate defense. Let's remember that the charges are premeditation. And did he premeditate her murder? Or obviously attempted murder. She's still alive, but it's premeditation. And so to the extent that he thought he was under attack by a third party, that would have been her boyfriend, apparently, Mr. Maldonado.
Let me just interrupt you, Joey, because
Sure.
I didn't set this up well, because I think our viewers may be confused. What happened was he showed up at his girlfriend's backyard, and he found his girlfriend sitting at a picnic table talking to another man and drinking wine. Then the attack ensued, and there's a difference in the stories on how, but his essential claim is that he went over, he whispered something in her ear. The other boyfriend or the other guy stood up and he felt threatened and he grabbed a knife that was in the picnic table, and then he ran inside to exchange that knife for an actual butcher knife, and then he came outside, somebody hit him on the head, and he began stabbing. He didn't know who. It turned out to be the girlfriend. So that's the story, Joey.
Exactly, Megan, with the only other piece that, of course, he testified that he thought the other person, Mr. Maldonado, may have had a weapon at the time. And let's remember, if he attempted her murder, this is a butcher knife. Butcher knives, of course, are what? They are long and they're sharp. We saw it in the clip there. If he intended that she be dead, I would suggest to you, Megan, that she would be.
Oh,
he could have stabbed her in the heart.
He could have
stabbed her. He could have stabbed her in the heart.
He could have stabbed her in
the neck. He could have cut her wrist. He could have done a number of things.
I
think this is consistent with his flailing.
Does that defense fly? He could have stabbed her more than 20 times.
Absolutely not. Because he failed doesn't mean he's not an attempted murderer. Because he didn't actually kill her because he was unsuccessful, he shouldn't be charged with crime.
Suggestion,
Absolutely
Kelly,
not. He chased her. He grabbed a butcher knife. He followed her around. Eyewitness testimony is he went after her. He was the aggressor. He himself testified he traded knives. Oh, the one I have's not big enough. Let me get a better weapon.
No, that wasn't what happened. Now, let's understand, Kelly.
Give Joey a chance. Go ahead, Joey.
Absolutely, that's what
Kelly,
happened.
I'm not saying that because he wasn't successful, then you can't charge him with it. What I'm saying is that intent is more consistent with an act which is premeditated, which is done. Look, if he wanted to take a butcher knife and plunge it into her heart and rip out her neck or do something else which would have shown intent, he could have done it. At the end of the day,
even the defense, as far as I know, is not claiming that because he only stabbed her 20 times, he didn't really mean to kill her. They're talking about how he was in a different frame of mind. He believed he was under attack. Let me ask you this. We've been playing these sound bites of her testifying on the stand, and then the jury, our viewers, just got a chance to see him on the stand. And this is going to come down to credibility of the witnesses. Right. You saw him in the intro. Right. And I'll let the viewers decide whether they thought his explanation was credible. Now, here's a sample of what the jury heard from the victim.
I could feel my skin was open, and I could feel I was bleeding everywhere. And I was trying to hold my side, but I was like, hold my back, hold my chin, hold me together so I can get help. And I was thinking about my kids. I didn't want to die.
Megan,
How do you get past that as a criminal defense attorney, Joey?
This is gripping and compelling testimony, but let's take a step back for 1 minute and go back to the 20-time stabbing. His explanation is he thought he was under attack. What does a person do when they are under attack, Megan? They flail, they move, they spin, they cut, they do what they need to do to protect themselves and to protect their interests. You know, the fact is, Megan, that the facts are hotly contested. There's his version, there's her version, there's another eyewitness who indicates exactly what occurred. But if you look at the multiple stab wounds, I think it is consistent with someone who is fighting for their life and therefore defending themselves. And that's why I think a self-defense argument has
What about this amnesia claim he has, Kelly? He doesn't remember doing it, that it wasn't until months later when they showed him the pictures of what he had done to his girlfriend that he was like, oh, you know, that was Kelly? Oh, that's who I stabbed? Oh, I had no idea. I was in this trance. I was in this daze. I was doing self-defense.
That's exactly right, Megan. They're throwing everything in the kitchen sink. I didn't remember, oh, yes, I thought I was under attack, then I went and grabbed another knife, then I don't remember, I was lashing out. Eyewitness testimony is he chased her. He went out of his way to be the aggressor. You heard her testimony. She was stabbed in the chin. She was stabbed in the back. She was stabbed in the leg. So for him to now say he forgot, that's convenient because then he doesn't have to say
Kelly,
he premeditated where he was stabbing her.
I don't think it's convenient. I think something called adrenaline, when anybody is in war zone mode, such as when you're being attacked, is a natural inclinition of anybody to lash out.
What about when you're the aggressor?
Is there actually any proof whatsoever, Joey, that he was hit by anybody?
He didn't get any treatment on his head.
Look, that'll be a jury determination as to whether or not he was hit.
They would have brought it in.
They would have brought that in for sure.
It goes to his reasonable belief that he was under attack, and when there's adrenaline flowing, you don't remember.
It was the adrenaline.
You heard his testimony. His testimony was, I went bananas. That just is his way of saying, oh, I was like flashing everywhere, slashing.
And let's not forget,
that's not okay. It's not a defense.
Which
let's
is
not forget,
consistent with
he's an actor.
Self-defense.
He's a professional actor. Were you convinced by his performance on the witness stand? You tell me. All right, panel, very good debate. Thanks so much, Kelly and Joey. By the way, this case is going to the jury. We expect this week, within the next day or two. One final word for our viewers. He doesn't remember doing it. He thought he was being attacked by someone other than her as he stabbed her more than 20 times. He was defending himself. To me, this defense sounds absolutely desperate in the truest sense of that word. But I'm not in the courtroom. That's what we have juries for. To evaluate the testimony firsthand, there's no substitute for looking at the witnesses, so you can decide for yourself as a juror who's believable and who's not. And for that reason, I'll stand by this jury, whatever its verdict. More in a moment.